Welcome back to Etc. Podcast. I'm your host, Victor, along my co-host, Mark. How you doing, sir, on this fine Monday? I forgot what day it was.
Honestly, I thought it was Tuesday for some reason.
Not yet. It is for these guys, though. Am I right?
Yeah. So, yeah, doing good, doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man.
It's a little windy outside.
It's a lot of windy since last night. I've been hearing it whipping around out my window, and I hear the impact of the wind against my house. And that shit just like thump, and I'm like, damn, it's a little breezy.
Crazy is that across the street from me, there's like the lady that lives in one of the houses. Her like, I don't know what to call it, but it's like the outlining on the point of the house or whatever, like the outlining on the outside. For some reason, it's like it kind of already was. I don't know what it was from, but part of it was like ripping off.
It's like lifting.
Yeah. So literally though, like a lot of it lifted off like yesterday before the wind kind of got really bad. So literally by the middle of the night, like during the middle of the night, you just hear that drone just like whipping like crazy in the wind. Bro, low key thought that drone was like gonna fall off and just all you're gonna hear is bang, like on something. Like it was crazy.
She better hope it don't rain.
Yeah, because that
gonna get a little leaky.
Yeah, I was just like, what the heck? But yeah, other than that, yeah, pretty good. You know, like I said, windy, but it's okay.
What can you do, man? It's only telling this type of weather it is for the times. I saw little flurries of snow yesterday. I was a little confused about that.
I saw that too, and I was like, is it snowing?
That lion ass groundhog, bro. I tell you.
No, it's dumb. It's dumb because they speaking for him. He's probably like, bro, it's winter. And they were like, yeah, it's spring. Let's switch it up.
Well, it's all about the shadow. You know, when he sees the shadow, that means the sun is still, beaming on him.
Who in the right mind thought that this was like a good way for us to predict weather?
He's like right like 30% of the time. People saw like on record. Like
yeah.
And then we still got him.
We got him.
He's stressed out though. Like he gotta balance that and the lottery, advertising the lottery all the time, bro.
This is true. This is true, man.
Gus.
Gus.
But yeah, I mean the weather's kind of telling of the times. You know, it's been a sad week overall, just for us locally, and then just in the entire world, we're all grieving. For y'all that are Philly fans or sports fans or Kelsey fans in general, our beloved mayor, Jason Kelsey, decided he's going to retire.
Yep.
Not our actual mayor, center for the Philadelphia Eagles, which should be mayor. And then Fletcher Cox decided he was going to retire. So he was like, he's going to call it quits. So
yeah,
two guys in one shot. We got Brandon Graham signing his last deal for this season. He's like, after this, I'm done. He's doing his Kobe tour. And yeah, that's three guys down in the next year or so. But he said, I'm gonna stick around for one. I feel like something gonna happen because we made some moves today. Signed Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Took him from the Giants. We got our O-line. We just inked one of our best linemen for the next 5 years for expensive now, but in the future it's gonna seem like we got him for a cheap deal.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, like, I'm a little worried, but I mean, like, hey, hopefully it all works out. You know,
you and Q worrying about nothing, bro. Q was worrying the same thing. I had to let him know what's up.
Hey, I mean, like I said, I mean, rather, show, don't tell. So it's like, hey, y'all show me. I'll be like, all right, cool. We got this.
Yeah. And then even worse news. I mean, it's been a little bit since it happened up until now, but AKIRA Toriyama passed away. Creator of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, creator of Goku, person that raised pretty much everybody and everything and influenced a lot of stuff in media in general.
Yeah, and a lot of first-time fans of anime from a lot of Mexican.
Yeah. All of Mexico has been grieving. They're still not over it, unfortunately.
It's so funny, bro. It's like such a stereotype, but it's like also
99%
true. It's like you can't really get around that.
Even if you're not like even if you're Mexican, you're not like a super fan. You're like, yeah, I fuck with it.
Like it was literally the first kind of like cartoon where you were like, yeah, like
he's Mexican Superman.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's adopted. He's like, for me, like I've never been like, I know of superheroes like Marvel, DC, like I know somewhat about them, but I guess never been like super crazy. I was never super crazy Power Rangers. I was never super crazy like anything else that I can think of. I was kind of big on Ninja Turtles, but like it's not the same thing. But like for me, like my like Superman, whatever, was fucking Goku. Like believe it or not, I've always been heavy on Dragon Ball since day one.
That's true. Yeah, I'm trying to think like what would mine be. I don't know. Maybe it had to be somewhere like Naruto, but like again, like I stopped when I was younger, so it wasn't as crazy.
Yeah. You're more superheroes though than I am.
Yeah, I am. But like again, like there was like a certain point where it wasn't really like like when I was younger, there was a certain point where it was starting.
Go ahead, I'll let you go and then I'll say my joke.
No, like it was just the whole idea that like the whole idea of like the story for Marvel didn't start till I was already probably like past the years of like, okay, like when I was a kid, I looked at like cartoons.
Well,
like,
the Marvel universe, cinematic universe.
Yeah,
sense.
you know what I'm saying? So it was like all I had at that point too was probably like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, because again, it was starting out, and I'm just like, yeah, these guys are cool, but like
it's not like the main guys.
Exactly.
I mean, he had Arkham, like the Arkham films.
True. Yeah, Arkham.
Batman,
I was saying,
Arkham.
yeah, Christian Bale was, I guess, my guy. But again, I mean, like, yeah, I feel like I was probably really into.
I know who your guy was.
Who?
Itachi.
That's okay. Yeah, that was
the guy that murdered his entire family. That's
yeah,
your. That was
true.
your. That was
but
your hero.
Later on, we all seem to admire, his bravery. Yeah, that was my guy.
But yeah, man, it's a hurt piece. He passed away. It was like some illness that was just kind of taking a toll on him.
Yeah.
I wonder what's gonna happen because like it makes also sense now because they've been talking about Dragon Ball Super coming back for like it was supposed to come back like around this time and it never did. So I'm guessing it was just him battling with like health stuff. So I wonder how far along he was able to complete work or like at least give instruction or anything like that in case he were to like I don't know how prepared they were for the death. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens here on out.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully they do it justice and it can finish out properly. It's funny though because I saw this earlier today where he won an award. I forget from where exactly, but he won an award for Dragon Ball Super. And in his speech, he basically talked about he's like, yeah, like I don't really like give a fuck about anime. Like, I've always been big on like the manga part. Obviously, that's what I wrote, but like I never really gave a fuck about the animation part. Like when they came up to me about it, I was just kind of like, yeah, cool, like we can do that because it'd be a big deal. But I've always been focused on the books that I'm writing. He was like, even when I was working with the studios, I never paid attention. Like I watched like very few episodes and it was just to like give them like notes, but it was never me sitting down and watching it. Like I never watched it. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, rest in peace to AKIRA Toriyama. That's kind of like a crazy big deal, especially for me personally. Yeah, it's between him, the guy from Yu-Gi-Oh, the guy from Berserk passing away. The Yu-Gi-Oh one really like is wild to me because he did it trying to save like a little boy from drowning and he ended up passing away himself.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, that's kind of like unfortunate, but also like if there's any way to go out, then yeah.
Just like an anime character would.
He said, I was gonna say he said, "Take me to the Shadow Realm," but that's fucked up.
Yeah, John. Only if he had a Monster Reborn.
No, all he needed was that pot of greed. He pulled his ass back out.
Pot of greed.
But no, that shit took me off guard. But he's in a better place now because he's healthy. He met up with King Kai. He's on that. He took that dragon path. True. He's in Otherworld.
Yep.
Got the Mexicans already on the search for the Dragon Balls. They're gonna wish him back. It's all good.
Yo, they already got in the whips, blasting that music.
All the cartels called it peace treaties. Said that this is a day of mourning.
Is what we need to do.
Did you see the image somebody made of like Jesus carrying Goku?
I did not.
You haven't? No. It's like obviously like a religious looking picture of Jesus. He's like with wings, like carrying Goku to
heaven. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
I mean.
Yeah, it's not hilarious. It's accurate.
Somebody said there's gonna be a mural in Mexico like in about a month. Like somebody said somebody's going to their tattoo artist right now showing them this is a reference.
Yo, low key though, I can see that being a tattoo on somebody. So yeah.
Yeah, but like don't do that. Like you could get a character from but don't like tie Jesus into it.
Yeah, no, yeah. Don't tie Jesus to it. Do something that makes sense, like he's going up, I guess. Yeah, he's in whatchamacallit, but yeah.
They show them going to heaven all the time in the show. They call it Otherworld. They got King Kai, they got all the judges and all that stuff. Yeah.
King Kai.
That's a funny character. But yeah, we're gonna ignore all the weird stuff that like I've talked about it before, just the weird analogies within Dragon Ball in general, with just like these aliens that like came down from another planet with tails and they turn into monkeys during a full moon, and the only way that they're at their peak strength and power is when they go from having dark hair and all that other stuff to having blonde hair and blue eyes. Completely irrelevant. We're not gonna, we're gonna ignore that. And then the weird depictions of some people of color in his shows, and then Mr. Popo. We're just gonna, for the sake of the fact that he passed away, we're just gonna give him a pass for right now.
Not to mention certain characters.
This stuff was written like in the 70s and the 80s.
Verbally just discreetly
Frieza.
Yeah,
we're just gonna put it out there. Frieza. Frieza's a thing.
Yep.
So
Yeah, there's a lot, low-key. It's
Yeah,
kind of draw.
I talked about it before. I'm like, yo, this was my show growing up. But I also realized that like the fact that they were like
wild.
and they were enslaved by some other white alien looking species that called them all monkeys, and the guy that's still living still calls him a monkey or an ape or whatever it may be, and when they cut off the tail they no longer turn into an ape.
Yeah, this is kind of wild.
Mm-hmm.
I get where they were going, you know, with like how to make a character a certain race and all that stuff and how their powers work, but like, yeah, y'all could have picked anything else.
You know what's a funny thing as well? Like, obviously this is still time. What the fuck is going on with that? It's the camera at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know if there's another one out there. How am I looking here? All right, we're just gonna keep going right here for right now.
Gotcha.
Another interesting thing that like I thought of before, but somebody else brought it into light when they were talking about Sasuke as a character, which is from Naruto, obviously not Dragon Ball, but it's gonna tie in for me. I was like, it's funny how a lot of people's least favorite characters out of shows, in most cases, are the most like realistic, like in real life situation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because like I brought up the situation with Sasuke, and everybody's like, yo, like Sasuke's such a flawed character, like he's annoying, like he makes no sense. But it's like when he laid it out, it's like, yo, like any normal human being would react this way. Like this little boy who like saw his entire bloodline get slaughtered comes to find out it's just from his older brother. His older brother said, you're gonna have to find me one day and step to me, but you gotta have hatred and you gotta kill your best friend to do it. And you gotta live with the fact that your entire family and bloodline is dead. And the only person that did it was the person you loved the most was your older brother.
Yep.
And then as you go through this whole thing of like hatred and being alone and living on your own, and you grow up and you finally just like go all these desperate ways to find power to actually achieve that goal and like redeeming your family, then you find out that it wasn't even your brother's fault. It was the village that you grew up in plotted against your brother to make him do that and for the sake of the village, and he decided to not kill his brother because he loved his brother so much. So after killing his own brother, thinking that he was the bad guy the whole time, he ended up finding out it wasn't him the whole time. He just killed his brother for no reason. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to take my shit out on the leaf and still continue on my mission and continue to do so. And then it just keeps evolving. And you know how shit goes on from there. The only part that he said that was kind of like dumb and fucked up was after the war was over. And he was like, yeah, I still want to take over. But even still, when you think about it, it's like, yo, you still did this to my family. I'm going to at least like kill you guys and take over the leaf because y'all just fucked up my whole life. Anybody would react that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the reason I mentioned this, or if you want to say something.
I say yeah, but at the same time, with the amount of time that passed and the amount of stuff he's seen, you would have thought for like a little bit he would just be like, all right, like I'm upset, but like I realize like I can't like hold this in forever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like at a certain point, it's like, yo, like I need to kind of like understand, sit with my stuff, just be away for like about a couple months, just kind of soak it in. Don't just be on go the whole time being like, yo, like I'm just gonna hate everybody. Like,
yeah, but we also gotta remember he was like 16.
This is also true.
He was a child. He wasn't even 18 yet. He decided to finally dip out and like do his own thing and like take some time off when he was an adult after everything happened. He was like, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm gonna just watch over the leaf from a distance. But like still to this, I would still be pissed at the leaf in general.
Oh, no, of course. I'm not going to say I'm going to forgive him or anything like that. But it's just more so trying to take that like anger and like be very like, I don't know how to say it, just take that action of like, oh, I'm going to like try to hurt you guys. Or just like, it's just like, yo, I don't like you. You probably don't like me. Like, that's just how it's going to be. Like, I'm going to just keep it like that.
And most likely to a certain extent, a lot of the adults knew this the whole time.
Yeah.
And they just looked at you in the mid and like didn't say shit.
Well, that's kind of how I feel about Naruto. A lot of people knew that too, and they just didn't want to like.
Well, that was a little bit different because at least, I mean, to a certain extent, because with Naruto, like the common people didn't know that he was the son of the fourth Hokage.
That's true.
They only knew that he was a Jinchuriki and he had a demon, which is also fucked up too. Because like, yo, like he's the only reason this place is still around. Like he's the reason that nobody attacks this village, and he's the reason that the thing that's inside him is not attacking us in general. So he's protecting. In multiple facets. He's also a child. He was born like that. He didn't choose to have that happen to him.
Hey man, in the Leaf Village, bro, anything goes. Like it don't matter, bro.
But the reason I mentioned this because we were talking about Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, is because a lot of people get upset with Gohan, and then you look at like the backstory of Gohan. Like he was fighting like otherworldly, super strong aliens from like the age of 4, bro. Like his uncle pulled up on his dad and kidnapped him. He had to fight his way out. And then watch him kill his dad.
Yep.
He had to grow up to a teenager age. His dad comes back. Then another super bug beetle looking thing comes to fight. And he has to beat him at like 13. He could have made it easier, but his dad was like, nah, take this Zensu beam. We're going to fight you like fair and square, even though you're all beat up. He's not all beat up.
True,
you could beat him though. I believe in you.
I believe in you. Like,
he almost died
pops.
again.
Yeah.
Then had to grow up to a basically an adult and raise his younger brother because Goku impregnated Chi-Chi before he died.
Yep.
Raised Goten, taught him how to be Super Saiyan. And then, yeah, all this, his like adult life came and he graduated from school and like he's working a regular job. And he's like, yo, I'm cool out fighting. Wouldn't you be cool out fighting if you were like 4 years old getting beat up by grown ass supermen?
Realistically,
yes.
Yes. Realistically, yes.
And everybody gets mad at Chi-Chi too for not letting Gohan fight. But like, yo, that's her son. Like, wouldn't you protect your son in general?
Yes, but the whole idea, a lot of it too, is that like the world is at stake. You know what I'm saying? Like if it wasn't, I would like completely understand. But if it's like, yo, this is another body where we have literally like all this power, it's kind of like, come on, like let's.
Yeah, but
of course I'll be like, yo, like I'm not sure at first. You know, I'll think about it. But like,
but regardless, this is like in the Saiyan saga, we're talking about like a 5-year-old. Especially like when they went to Namek too.
That's
he was like 5.
Yeah, that's understandable for that. Like
then the Cell saga, he was like 13.
Then
cool, like if he's a Saiyan, he's a half Saiyan, obviously, so he's strong or whatever. Like he can fight. But why you got him fighting the main dog? Don't we got Goku, Vegeta, two guys right there? We got Piccolo, Tien, Yamcha, all these other people. Trunks came from the future. Trunks came from the future to bust his ass.
Yeah,
and we're gonna leave it up to the 13-year-old.
Yeah, they didn't really know what they were doing at that point. That was at that moment like, hey, Goku's our main character. We know he has a son. Let's start letting him get mixy.
Yeah. And then when he's finally at his adult age where he's like, yo, he could actually be a fucking menace because Goku's like, yo, like Gohan's stronger than me. Like we've been talked about this. He's just cool, like raising a family and shit. And like they just cool off it. He got Pan now. He's like, I'm not making Pan fight. Pan's a baby. I'm not gonna do what you did to me.
Hey bro, we gotta put her in though to make sure we can get that Super Saiyan God though.
Well, that's what you gotta watch. You gotta watch Superhero. She was in that joint. She was throwing hands.
Gotcha.
But now, I mean, obviously we don't know what's gonna happen with him anymore, but like we got that new form of Gohan. He's an adult now. He walked back the purple suit looking fly. I don't know about the new transformation though. He got like white hair and like red eyes. I don't know where that came from. All due respect, Akira. But
Akira, no.
Yeah, so it was just kind of funny to think about. It's like the most logical characters in any show. People are like, yo, like, fuck this guy. Like, why is he doing that? But it's like, in reality, that's the most realistic, real world answer to what he was going through.
Yeah. Kind of resonate with Piccolo. So.
Piccolo is just like, he used to be the bad guy. He used to want to kill Goku. Goku whooped his ass as a youngin'.
Yeah. They literally talk about that, I think, at one point when they like decide to do the tournament. Yeah. And he's just like, yeah, like I was the bad guy. Like, Goku, you just kind of whooped me into shape. You know? Like, that's just how it always happens.
He whooped me so bad, he's like, I don't want to do this bad guy life anymore.
I realized I can't win, so I got to join you.
And that was before any transformation, anything. He he didn't even have Kaioken type shit. Or maybe he like the very beginning of Kaioken.
And he realized at that point, this guy's just going to keep getting stronger than me, 10 times faster than me, and he's not even in form. So I'm just going to be cool.
And it only took 30 years for Piccolo to get a new form.
Yeah.
Now he's orange.
And now he's orange. Yeah. The thing that's so funny about Piccolo, though, that's like, it's his race, so he can do it, but it's just funny how, like, he loses limbs and he can just grow them back out. Yeah, but it's just funny because when it happens, they always show it as in something like you've never seen before. Yeah. He's just like,
well, it's more so because it hurts. Like it takes a lot. It takes a lot out of him to do so. Like it's like a fatigue thing.
And he's just like,
yeah. But like, especially during like the Tournament of Power, it was kind of like a thing. Like every time I do that, I get really, really like it takes a lot out of me to do so. So like I can't keep fighting like this.
Hey man. Piccolo, just a pickle.
Yeah. But yeah, I just thought that was a cool little observation in general. I don't know if I want to fix this camera or not, or should we just keep going as is?
We could probably.
I don't even know what we can do at this point. We just keep using this main one, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit hurt, bro. Now, like, I'm really scared to what's gonna happen for the future of the show. But
yeah, I mean. It's just like, it doesn't. I'm not gonna say it irks me because it's like I can't rush them and stuff like that because it's like they want to make sure it's good. But it just sucks because growing now, getting older, it's like it's kind of something you have to expect for these people to like slowly get out of it. But like obviously, if you know they want to keep making it, you're just like, bro, like I appreciate you for doing this, but like I want to make sure you're still around. Like, I don't want you to check halfway through it. You know, like if we need to end it, just say you're gonna end it. Don't because the last thing I need is being like 40 years old and I'm like, yo, we still ready.
No, true. That's what it's funny though, because like one of the voice actors of One Piece had like a similar comment. Just because like it's the woman that voices Luffy, like the main character, and she was like, yo, like I don't even know if I'm gonna be around for like the end of it. But like kind of joking because she's not that old. And also they're in their last, like right now they're like the show's ending, like they're at their last arc right now. But she was just kind of like, yo, like this should be going on for something. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to voice the end of it, but it's actually is coming. Like I said, they're in their last arc or whatever.
Okay,
so
there you go.
I just hit that halfway point, bro. I'm like, that shit. It's a lot, bro. Exactly. It's a lot. Not the episodes. I'm saying the shit that happens in the show is a lot. And I'm only halfway through, bro. Like I'm just about to hit the time skip, and like. It's gas, bro. I can't even hold you. Like, there's a way for you to watch it shortened without all the filler and stuff removed, and I feel like you would enjoy it that way. But like, whenever you feel ready to do it, just do it. Yeah, because that's what I had to do. I had to be like, you know what? I'm just gonna ride it out for the sake of like the story. I'm not gonna worry about the 1,000 episodes. And in a year, I'm at 500 some episodes. Like, and I skipped the filler. Obviously, I didn't watch like the pointless shit, but like all the canon shit I watched, and I'm already halfway there.
Yeah. No,
my goal is to be there whenever the last episode airs at the very least. I want to like watch that one live.
Okay, yeah.
So that's my pace right now.
Got you. Yeah, I mean, like I said, whenever I'm ready, I'll feel there. But you know, right now I'm just I guess finishing the shorter ones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just finished. Well, I didn't finish. I got up to the point where they stopped so far, but watched another anime called Tokyo Revengers.
Mm-hmm. I heard that was a good joint.
Yo, that joint is crazy, bro. I don't know. I have such a love for animes that like it's such a different feel, and it gives you a better, like, deeper appreciation for certain animes that don't involve stuff like powers. You know, it's just like real stuff, but at the same time, like there's crazy just like twists. You're just like, no way. Like you're just like, what the heck? Like it's literally just kids. And this is the thing that throws me off and throws a lot of people off when you realize how like deep the story is and how like serious it gets. And you're just like, you realize like, bro, they're like 13, 12.
It's always like that.
And you're like, there's no reason why they should be talking to each other like this, acting the way like this, just going about their life. I'm like, bro, I was not doing this stuff at 12, bro. Like, not at all. Not even thinking about this stuff. So it's just kind of funny. But yeah, other than that, like, again, like the twist and all that stuff, I'm just like, bro, this show is like so good. Like, it's pretty good. The only thing is like, obviously, there's a whole thing of like going back in time. That's the only thing that's probably like out of this world where you're just like, okay, that's
a little
that's
fiction part of it.
Yeah, that's the fiction part of it. But other than that, like everything is just straight up, just kind of serious, just played out the way it is. And I'm just like, yeah, I like this, John.
Yeah, it's funny too. Like Q called me last night actually about because he just realized how young the kids in the show are. He was watching Food Wars, which I told you before is like mad fucking horny.
Yeah,
and he was like, yeah, bro, like these kids are like in middle school. And I was like, what, really? Like I didn't, because I watched it a long time ago and I forgot. I usually just assume they're like high school age because that's usually how they pan it. I was like, yeah, like they're like middle schoolers and they're doing all this shit because it's like every time a girl eats some food that's good, she's like, and it's just like all these hearts and shit and she's like sweating and shit. I'm just like, yeah, no, it's a little much.
Yeah, I could not watch that. I'll be like,
the food looked good though. Like that's what drew me in. And then they just kept being so over the top with like the titties and shit. Like it just feels weird because they're kids, bro. And even then, like the older upperclassmen are high schoolers. And I know that there's like grown men watching this shit, like with that. But it just makes me feel so weird. But then it's the same shit with like real life shows when you got like Euphoria and other shows like that where it's like 25-year-olds playing 16-year-olds and they're just being super sexualized.
Well, that's weird for sure. Yeah, don't understand why they can't just make us see them at that age because they want to put that whole high school era, you know. Like
what's up with the college anime?
Hey,
at least they're all of age and they would be doing wild shit and it makes sense.
Yeah. Or even like the real life stuff, like just
Yeah.
put stuff in college stuff or just realistic. I mean, yeah, you get some of those stuff, but a lot of that stuff be like super drama.
But at the same time, these are usually like tailored towards kids in some cases. Some others, they're people straight up dying and shit, and like that's technically adult shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
yeah.
But then, yeah, even like last time I remember watching Fours, I never finished it. But there's like they introduced like an American character, and she just wore like a bikini and like Daisy Duke booty shorts and like American flag on her fucking bikini top, and it's just like, yo, like chill. Like you just got like the ass cheeks hanging out and like the boobs barely hanging onto a thread. It's like, what this got to do with the food though?
That's the
Don't
point.
chefs wear like the whole white coat shit?
Not
Like
in this
where's that
show.
at?
Not in
Or
this
at least
show.
an apron? Jesus.
Not in this show. Which is why I'm like, yeah, nah. A lot of that
Yeah.
stuff is like it's not even focused on that. They put the food there, of course. That's what they try to tailor it to.
And they put
But
so much, like they make it look. You know that those videos on Instagram where it's like food, anime food, and it looks super high def. It'd be that, but then they just do the weird shit in there.
yeah, nah.
There's another one called Kakeguri. I didn't watch it myself, but I remember hearing of it, and it was on Netflix. It's like high schoolers, but they all like gamble and shit,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
and they're like
I heard
they
that
handle like
show's
all their
pretty crazy.
It is, but they all like sexualized as hell. Like they,
Oh.
not that they do sexual stuff, but they get like almost horny off of the rush of like gambling, and they'll gamble like real life shit. And they'll handle like a lot of disputes and arguments and stuff by gambling, and it'll be different games. It won't just be like blackjack. It'll be like, oh, like here's this contraption, like Saw type games, and it's like, oh, whoever loses got to like poke their eye out.
Yeah,
And then
I've
it'd be
heard
just somebody
about
with
that.
like a fucking eye patch. It's like, yo, like
Yeah,
these are high schoolers. Who's like chaperoning them?
Yeah, no, yeah. I remember hearing about that or somebody like saying, oh, you had to cut off your ear or something like that. And I'm
Mhm.
just like, what the heck? Yeah. I never watched it. I heard about it though.
And they'd be like real life dying. But once I get to this time skip, I think I'm gonna double back and finish or catch up to My Hero before the next season comes out, because I'm like a season behind. So, and I heard you
Yeah.
told me that was crazy. So I want to.
It is. I really enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. A lot of stuff just like it's like a lot of stuff starts kicking in. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I didn't really like finish exactly all the way yet. I'm like at the very end too, because I think the episode stopped, I guess, where at least where I was at.
They're
I'm not
probably
sure.
still releasing at the time.
Yeah. So I know like that was happening. But what was I about to say? Snap. Yeah, just the idea that it was really good. Wow, I can't believe I forget what I was about to say. That's so crazy.
These things were kicking in. Things were getting serious.
Oh yeah. Just the idea that like I really just I don't know where they're going at with the show as far as like if they plan on having Midoriya be like top to where like All Might was.
Mhm.
But still, from where it's at, he's still nowhere near that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm just like wondering, like,
Is it gonna happen?
is it gonna happen? Because if it is, cool. But I'm just letting y'all know, like, this is gonna take a
It'll be a
couple
huge
more
jump,
seasons, like, because this boy is still nowhere near close to it. Like, Bull probably just reached like double digits of
Mhm.
power. Like, and I'm just like, yeah, bro. There's no way I think you're gonna get there anytime soon. Which
He's
is
just
like,
figuring it out.
which is like cool because then you end up realizing like if he did, like he probably do everything by himself.
Mhm.
And that's when they incorporate everybody else to try to help him come in. So like it's pretty cool in that sense too. But when you're like, bro, this boy has this crazy power, but literally is like he can't even use the full power. You're just like, okay, like I've seen this for like the last 2 seasons now,
Yeah.
boy.
But I mean, the fun and the excitement of the show comes with the struggle. You know what I mean? It'd be kind of corny if he was just like on some crazy shit like All Might all the time, just bodying everybody, and he
Well, I
became a
wouldn't
problem.
even want him to body anybody. I would just like to see that like then show me like him doing some crazy training. Like then I'll be like, okay, I understand like why he's getting there. But he'll just be like trains for maybe like a week or so, probably like a month, and then they have to throw him into the like the pits, and then he has to learn on the go, which is pretty much every anime for the most part, you know.
I mean, to be fair, he ain't have shit until he started school. All these other people were living their whole lives with their quirks and shit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they were like trying to like figure out how they worked and everything, so that makes sense.
From birth, this man was like, he got into the school with no power, and then just all of a sudden magically popped up with a power. He got to figure it out.
It didn't manifest yet.
Yeah. So
Midoriya.
but yeah,
Deku.
I just feel like it was only right we took the time out to do like an anime episode, just because this man basically birthed all the anime that we even mentioned just now in this entire episode, and they all admitted it as well. Like all the writers of all these other shows that we mentioned, like yeah, like we wouldn't have these stories if it wasn't for Dragon Ball. So just a little salute to a guy that basically raised me, because I still have all the games and all the clothes and all the fucking memories of watching all the DVDs. That was my shit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hop up out of here because we continue to have camera issues and can't do much about it. So we're gonna stick to what we got. Anything you want to say before we get out of here, Mark?
No, we just love you guys. Keep giving us the love that you guys do. We're gonna always be here. And just for the one time, everybody just put your hands up and just give him your energy, bro. Just give him your energy.
Can you imagine, bro, if everybody found out he was like checking and everybody did that? Just to, like,
yo, that'd be wild. Out of nowhere, he just starts getting better. Like, what happened to the medical reasons? Like, I don't know. It just disappeared.
Yeah.
Everybody in Mexico is just like,
bro, you just there's like NASA has a telescope out, and they're just like, you see all this blue light coming out of Mexico.
Bro,
going straight to Japan.
Right, yo. I just love it. Like, I don't know why. It's just something funny to me. Just know that, like, if I see, like, it's gonna sound very stereotypical. If I see like a group of Mexican teenagers, I'm just thinking like, yo, you probably watching.
Jiren?
Right. Come on, give me your energy. Come on, Super Saiyan.
I feel like this would be very dumb, but you know how people go around doing like microphones and like just asking people questions or like doing dumb shit in public? I feel like I will walk around and like, I'm going to shut up. I'm not going to say that. No, I'm going to say it. Fuck it. Imagine, because I'm Hispanic too, and I love fucking Dragon Ball shit. Yeah. Imagine we just walked around to a bunch of Hispanics and like started to do like the fusion thing, and they like automatically knew what to do. I feel like it'd have like an 8 out of 10 success rate if I were to do that shit.
Yeah, just...
As soon as I do that stance, you just just like some 40-year-old Hispanic guy's like, yeah, I got you, bro. Like,
yeah, definitely. You just got to be in an area where you know there's some people and you got to start it, and then hopefully they see and then they jump in. Yeah, that'd be lit.
That's hilarious. But we love you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.